What's up guys, it's your boy YrevzZ, and today I'm going to be bringing you a tutorial that was requested by Luke Lovett. His Twitter is @noobking9311 and his channel is Noob King Gaming. I'll put his channel and his Twitter down below. Make sure you go tell him thank you for requesting this tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be motion tracked text from Cinema 4D into your cinematics. I use it a lot, especially on like edits that I really want to look good. So just a little heads up that this can actually make your edits look that much better than everybody else's. So this is one of those tutorials that if you haven't figured it out on your own, that you really want to take the time and you want to mess with it a lot, you want to master it and get as good as you can with it, because it's a pretty big deal, especially if you want to be an editor for like a bigger team, or you want to do like big edits and stuff like that, then this is one of those things that you're going to need. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit you guys up with what you're going to need. One, you're going to need a cinematic with a flat surface, so I'm going to use this plane, the wing of the plane from Afghan. That's for one of the edits that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to use the wing on this plane because it's flat. So you want a cinematic with a flat surface somewhere in there, like, so you can, well, you're going to see what we're going to be doing with that later. After that, you're going to want to make sure that you have boujou 5.0. It's really easy to get. Just go ahead and look it up on YouTube, how to get boujou 5.0, Cinema 4D, and After Effects or Sony Vegas. So either one of those will work, but you're for sure going to need Cinema 4D and boujou 5.0. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start a new one. Don't save. I'm going to bring in a new cinematic, or the same cinematic, but I'm going to bring in the cinematic that I want to motion track. And as you guys can see, same one. You're going to want to render this out as a, let's go ahead and, there we go. You want to go to your output module or your render settings in Sony Vegas, and you want to make sure that your format or the template or whatever you're using is a JPEG sequence. In Sony Vegas, I think it should say something about JPEGs. It's gonna say JPEG sequence on there, and you're gonna want to go to your format options, make sure that it's your quality's on 10 or maximum. That way it looks the best, and everything else should be fine. You don't want any audio or anything like that. So just make sure that it's on JPEG sequence, and make sure that you cut out any part that you don't need. So any part that you're like just sitting there, this has already been rendered out, like, because I had to crop it up. But most cinematics have parts in front and behind it that they're not moving. So make sure that you crop it up and all that sort of stuff now, and then make a new folder in like your pictures files. Just make sure that you make a new folder and put it down as, like, I'm going to go and rename this to JPEG sequences. I got a mic in front of me. There we go. JPEG sequences. So you're going to want a whole new folder just to put all these JPEG sequences in there, because what it does, since I've already rendered mine out, it makes a picture by picture thing. Like, I've got probably over 2,000 pictures in here of JPEG sequences. So this is that's why you want a whole new folder for it. So make a new folder, make sure that you go in there, and since I've already rendered mine out, I'm not going to do it. So go ahead and render yours out. and all you gotta do is press render. It shouldn't take that long depending on how long your cinematic is. But before you go into boujou, you want to look at the frame rate in which you're rendering it out as, or what frame rate your cinematic is. So my frame rate for this cinematic is 29.97 frames per second. I mean, I can render it out as a 59.94. It's, you know, it's all up to you. Or you can, like, you have to make sure that you know your frame rate, because that's a big part in what we're about to do. So let's go ahead and go into boujou. Sexy background. I'm gonna be doing maybe a tutorial on how I did the busted up, fractured thing behind it and all that. But anyways. Alright, so now we're into boujou. It's pretty easy to use if you haven't used it before, guys. I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can, like always, so follow along. Import sequence. First button right here is what you want to click. Go find your folder that you saved all your JPEG sequences in. Alright, and find it. Mine starts with A. I mean, they're all alphabetically, like, they're all out in alphabetical order by the first letter and the frame number. So mine started at 55 frames and it's began with A, so it's going to be up front. So judging by that, go find your very first frame of that cinematic, click open, and as you guys can see here, it's from start and there's the finish. Now from here, you want to go to your frame rate and you want to go to whatever your frame rate was for the cinematic. And since mine was 29.97, I'm going to click on that, but it goes all the way up to 60. So if you guys have an 59.94 cinematic, then perfect, click on that one. But mine's 29.97, so I'm going to click on that. Go to apply, close, and now we got our cinematic in here. Next, you want to go to track features, make sure all frames is selected, and then start it. And judging by how well or how good your computer specs are and how long your cinematic is, this can take a little bit of time. I've done some that have taken 20 minutes. I've done some that have taken, you know, this long, like 1 minute. It's all depending on your computer and how long your cinematic is. So let that go. And after that, now we have all these weird, you know, points with tails on them or whatever you want to call them. Yellow lines and stuff. Looks kind of like a tornado on mine. Ooh. After that, you want to go ahead and go to camera solve. Optimize camera path smoothness, which is down here, and then push start. And this one should not take long at all. This is kind of one of those shorter processors or processing things, I guess you could say. It doesn't take long to do this part, even though it's taken forever. Jeez, 5 minutes. The fuck. Well, usually this doesn't take that long. There we go. Now it's starting to jump up there. Goodness. I got a new phone today and it has not stopped ringing anything. It's so annoying. Ugh, come on. I'm sorry, guys. I should have paused it or something, but there we go. Alright, now as you guys can see, there we have our yellow and bluish dots everywhere. And this is kind of like one of the things that everybody gets confused with. It's not that confusing, guys. It's just you need to find these certain points in the map. Like, I'm actually going to probably use this wall because I'm pretty sure that those points aren't actually on that. Or are they? No, those are actually on the thing behind it. Those are actually on the hill or mountain. So I guess I'm going to try and use this mountain. After this, you want to go to Scene Geometry, add coordinate from hint, and go to Z-axis. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go, the Z-axis is up and down. So click on one point, and then go down, like straight down. You can maybe go at a little bit of an angle, but if you can go just straight down, do that. Hold control, click on another one, and then connect to selected, and then those two are selected and they're connected, and that kind of rhymed, but those two are locked in to the Z-axis. Add another coordinate from hint, go to X, and this is going to be left to right or right to left. It's going to be your sideways axis right here. So I'm going to go and click on that one and click on that one, and then select that one. Do another one, go to origin, and the origin is your middle. So if mine are right here to right here, I guess I can make that one my middle. And then after you got your origin, your X and Z axis all connected, click update coordinate for frame. Update coordinate to frame. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Click it a couple times. You want to make sure that it's just completely locked in and updated. You guys can add a test object, and from this, if this thing moves, then it's not done right. Seems to be working out fine. Yeah, it seems to work out pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and export camera now. This is the part where you wanna make sure that your export type is set to Cinema 4D. I have a file, a Cinema 4D file just for motion tracking saved to my desktop, and I override it every time I do this. So just go ahead and save it on there, and scale scene, you want to make sure that that is set to 100. Then save it, and then you have that. And if you want to like render out your JPEG sequence from Boujou as a video file, go ahead and go to export sequence, or F11, and then go to browse, and then save it to your desktop somewhere. I also have an image sequence one that I use. Save it, and it saves you a little bit of time, and it's really nice that you can do both of them in this. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of that. Now I'm gonna open up that motion tracked thing that we saved to our desktop. How long is this? Jeez, 13 minutes. I'm sorry guys if this is like too long or anything. This is just a really lengthy process. Like, it can take quite a little while, especially with doing all this. Alright, so if yours opened up along with mine, then you're gonna get this Lightwave 3D import. You want to make sure that the scale is on 10, because we saved it as 100 whenever we exported the camera, and it's going to be 10 centimeters in Cinema 4D. So go ahead and click OK if that said 10 centimeters. And as you guys can see now, we have this we have a little canvas here, and little black dots are everywhere. From right here, we're going to go ahead and click on our light objects and go to background. So now we got a background in here, and you want to make a new material. Take off the specular, go to color, and texture, drop down, load image, and you want to go to where you save that image sequence from Boujou, or if you rendered it out in another thing like After Effects or something, then you want to open that up, and you're going to have it as a background. So now, as you guys can see, and I fucked up, you can see spectating right there. Dang it. Alright, anyways, that's going to bother me. Here is the cinematic. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some text, MoGraph, MoText, and mine's a little messed up because of like how I did it. Let's go ahead and do that. And from here, if it motion tracked right, then you guys did it right. If it didn't, then you want to go back and mess around with your coordinates. Yeah. You know, this is one of those things that you guys are just going to have to mess with. Like, now that you guys know the basics, now you just want to make sure that you guys got the right cinematic and everything like that. And, yeah, it's actually going to look pretty good. And you can, of course, you know, switch the text to, this is the guy I'm doing the edit for. Apply FMJ. It's got some pretty nice shots in here. And there you go. Add some textures on it, you know, all that good stuff. Maybe bring it up here. You could probably actually do, you can actually do a lot of stuff within here. Like, I can actually bring it about, I don't know. I'm actually gonna get off here and mess with this because now I'm where I need to be in my edit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and it worked out for you. Just like I said, if it didn't motion track correctly, you want to go back and mess with the coordinates. Select different ones. Make sure that you're not going on like going from, say, the ground on top of a curve or on top of a truck, or doing the next coordinate on a wall. That's going to mess up boujou. It's going to throw off the camera. So you want to make sure that all the coordinates are on a flat surface. That's why I was kind of iffy about doing it on the wall or on the hill, because there's lots of bumps and stuff, but it seemed to work out. So hopefully that thing worked, or hopefully this worked out for you guys. And yeah. And don't, like I said earlier, don't forget to show some love to Noob King for taking the time to ask for this tutorial. And hopefully you guys learned something. Alright, don't forget to like the video and all that good junk. And I'm sorry this was a long tutorial. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Later.